This is where we showcase all of our latest innovations that we will launch here at the Paris Olympic to make our athletes even faster. We have our parade horse over here. This is the EvoSpeed Berserker Nitro Elite. I say parade horse because this is a brand new spike and it features all of our latest technologies. We have our power plate. This is our carbon fiber plate in the tooling, and then we have our Nitro Elite foam, which makes our shoes so special. So when we going into Tokyo, it was an arms race to get to the track with super spikes. Luckily for us, the Tokyo Olympics was postponed by 1 year, so it gave us some time to catch up, and we ended up going to the track with two sprint spikes. At Puma'S, speed is our superpower. We are a brand of sprinters, so for us to start with the sprint spikes was the most important one. So interesting that fast forward 3 years to Paris, we now have an arsenal of 12 different nitro infused spikes throughout all the different ranges of track and field events. So we definitely expanded our offering from 2 sprint spikes in Tokyo to 12 spikes now in Paris. We now expanded our offering to 12 super spikes, obviously focusing very much on our sprint selection, different options for different sprinters. We have 4 key models on the jump side. We really invested heavily in jumps because that is Puma'S history, both on sprints and jumps. So if I talk about which spike an athlete is gonna wear, we have so many options, and this is exactly why we have so many options, so the athlete can choose. It's not we have one sprint spike, the sprinters have to wear that. We have one distance spike, the distance athletes have to wear that. No, we have different options for different athletes. So some athletes are more springier, they can get away with a less aggressive spike. Some athletes are a little bit stronger, more powerful sprinters, so they need a different type of spike. So I think the last 3 years, what we found coming out of Tokyo and what we learned is that we have groups of people, we have groups of athletes. Some groups respond better, they're more elastic sprinters, they respond better to a certain setup of spikes, and we have more power sprinters who respond better to a less toe spring, a more rigid plate. So we really are starting to deep dive into those different buckets of sprinters and develop various sprint spikes for various types of athletes. Now, if you ask me which spike are athletes going to wear, we don't know yet, but for example, triple jump, this is Jaydon Hibbert's favorite spike. Obviously here triple jump has a very stable platform, and then we combine it with our Nitro Elite foam with an internal carbon fiber plate. So Jaydon Hibbert, definitely he will be wearing the triple jump spike. Then our long jumpers, a lot of our pole vaulters are actually wearing our long jump Nitro Elite spike as well. This is also the spike that Mondo Duplantis broke his previous world record in. So most of our pole vaulters and long jumpers will be wearing this spike. We have long jumpers that will be wearing this spike. It's Wayne Pinnock. So he just joined the Puma family and he's been jumping very well in this spike. He's really liking it. So we'll be excited to see him wear this long jump Nitro Elite Puma spike at the Paris Olympics next week. Then for high jump Nitro Elite, we work together with Javon Harrison. Javon Harrison, the American high jumper, also a long jumper. But we work together with him to develop this spike, test this spike. As he is a very young athlete, he could give us very good feedback and insight what he needs in a high jump spike. Obviously, Javon is very much a power jumper, which is also interesting because we have other high jump spikes. We have 3 other models of high jump spikes in our range to really allow for the needs of the different types of high jumpers. Especially in high jump, The women are also requiring different needs in their spikes from men, because the forces that our male high jumpers put in these spikes are enormous, versus women. Women, of course, they also put a lot of force in it, but not anywhere near men, because that's just, you know, how the nature is. And it was very important for us that we created a very stable spike, especially in the takeoff foot and the last 3 steps before the high jumper takes off. So we created a power frame. As you can see here, it wraps from the outsole up to the midsole to really create a stable platform as the athlete is going through the last step. So a power jumper like Javon Harrison, this is a very good spike for him, because it gives him both the stability that he needs when he takes off, but also a full-length Nitro Elite midsole that really propels him and propels him upwards as he's jumping over the bar. Then we have the Nio jump. So this is a spike, obviously the logo is already giving it away. This is Mondo Duplantis' spike that he wore when he jumped his latest world record. So you'll see Mondo wearing the Nio jump. On the long distance Nitro Elite, Patrick Deaver, he's one of our athletes that will be wearing this in the 10,000 meters. Our distance runners, if an athlete like Fiona O'Keefe, who's obviously a marathon runner, but when she comes to the track and she does distance races, this is what she will wear, our long distance Nitro Elite. It has the maximum amount of Nitro Elite foam, and it's the only spike in the range that does not have a carbon fiber plate, because we really wanted to make sure that the athlete's foot sits directly onto the Nitro Elite foam to give them that nice cushy feeling for those longer distances on the track. And so the distance Nitro Elite, this is a middle distance spike. It's extremely lightweight, it's very aggressive. Rushell Clayton actually has been wearing this spike in her 400 meter hurdles. So not only does this work for 800 meter and 1500 meter runners, but hurdlers are also very happy with this spike, as it's very aggressive, it has a very aggressive toe spring, it's really lightweight, so it helps these hurdlers get up on their toes as they're jumping over the hurdles. We have an internal full-length carbon fiber plate sandwiched with our Nitro Elite foam that runs full length, and then we have a 3/4 Puma'S plate. Then when we get to our latest spikes, we have the Forte Pro and the Forte Nitro. A lot of the Jamaican athletes will be seen wearing our latest Forte Nitro spike. Marshall Jacobs will wear this spike as well. This is kind of made with him for a sprinter that's a little bit more powerful. So it's different from the Sprint Nitro and the 400 Nitro that we currently already had in our line. This is one of the spikes that we figured we needed to have an additional sprint spike that was built for a more power sprinter. So the toe spring is less aggressive, and it has a full-length Nitro Elite midsole. Then it's decoupled in the middle, and then it has a full-length Puma'S plate for more aggressiveness with your 6 permanent pins to give a very rigid platform for the athletes to propel forward. So it's very lightweight package. It has the Ultra Weave Elite upper with the carbon fiber threads infused in them. So it's a very aggressive new spike for the Nitro Elite. You'll see a lot of the Jamaican athletes wearing this. Shericka Jackson will also be wearing the Forte Nitro Elite in the 200 meters at the Paris Olympics.